Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, striking ATS workers and supporters march in Nandi. Fuel prices to increase from Monday. And lifting taxi permit fees will stop illegal operations, says LTA.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
Around 2,500 people, including politicians and various political party supporters, together with striking ATS workers, marched through Nandi this morning in support of ATS workers who had illegally walked off their jobs 5 weeks ago. The march started from the Nandi temple and ended at Nandi District School, where a free concert was held for the public. Philippe Naikaso reports around 6,000 people had later gathered at the school compound.
Marching for the right of ATS workers to illegally walk off their jobs at any time. Striking ATS workers, politicians, unionists and political supporters marched this morning to back ATS workers who had abandoned their posts 5 weeks ago.
I think we achieved more than what we had expected, and we just want to thank God for the wonderful weather that He has given us for this march. We started on schedule and the march went through the town, and we had spectators on both sides of the streets supporting us. The main message that we want to get across is justice for all, and the workers' rights movement is active.
The participants sang and cheered in support of the workers.
We have to come out of our comfort zones and walk in this hot sun because of the pressing matters that are affecting the locked out workers.
The FTUC says it hoped that government will step in to sort out the situation at ATS.
Well, we've applied for another permit to march in Suva on the 24th of February. That's in process. We've complied with all the requirements. We are awaiting the permit. That's going to be a bigger one than this. And we're going to make sure that we're going to go to the capital and we are going to petition the government to do something about this if it's not resolved by then. Of course, on the cards is also a national strike that we will contemplate, we will decide upon should this dispute prolong.
Today we're marching for workers' rights and for the respect and dignity of the locked out ATS workers.
I think so, they were right. Because they have family to support. From day one they have to feed their family, children that goes to school. It really touches me. So that's why I'm here today to support them.
I'm supporting this march because while these workers have been sitting outside and with school starting, I'm just thinking about what will happen to their families.
Meanwhile, FTUC's Felix Anthony and ETSET Secretary Willie Finau says they will take more action in order to end this situation. Philippe Naikaso, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the Air Terminal Services Limited Acting Chief Executive Hari Mane has reiterated that ATS workers are not locked out of their headquarters. This is after ATSCT General Secretary Willie Finau showed a memo stating that it proves they are currently being locked out by the management. However, Mane has strongly disagreed with this, stating there was another letter they had sent out.
This document that I hold in my hand actually proves that what had happened, and up till to date, we have been locked out of work. And the allegations that we have been on strike and that they indicate that it is an illegal strike is incorrect.
Because some of the staff who had been stood down wanted the items from within the complex and their security requirements for them to access it, and the security had asked us, so we wrote another letter saying that these people can come in and collect their items, but have to be escorted in don't talk to anyone.
The price of fuel will increase across the board from Monday. Minister for Trade and Tourism Fayaz Koya says these increases are based on an unfavourable movement in the international prices for all petroleum products experienced in the last quarter. Kelly Vadala reports.
A major hike in fuel prices have been announced will be effective from Monday. The price of motor spirit will increase by 14 cents to cost $2.03 per litre. Diesel prices will increase by 16 cents a litre to retail at $1.71. Premix will retail at $1.89 a litre, an increase of 14 cents. The price of kerosene will increase by 19 cents to cost $1.49 a litre. Meanwhile, the price of the 4.5 kg cylinder of liquid petroleum gas will increase by $1.85, selling at $14.43, while the 12 kg cylinder will cost $38.48, an increase of $4.93. The price of auto gas will increase by 24 cents to cost $1.82 a litre.
Fiji is directly impacted by the world market prices for both refined oils and for LPG. And as such, any changes in the world market prices will be reflected in fuel and LPG prices in Fiji. So advice to all the consumers is, once again, use it in a sustainable fashion and make sure that you use less fuel and try and catch a bus or take a walk or ride a cycle.
Fiji Competition and Consumer Commission Chief Executive Joel Abraham says the high demand for crude oil and production cuts have led to the increase.
When we come to the January price review, because of the huge demand in the Northern Hemisphere due to the winter season and due to supply cuts by OPEC countries and also non-OPEC countries that have also signed onto the agreement to reduce supply, that has put a lot of pressure on prices, and because of that pressure on prices, it has pushed the international prices up.
The FCCC is expected to conduct the next fuel and LPG price review on 15th April. Kelly Badala, FBC News.
The lifting of the taxi permit freeze by the Land Transport Authority will help reduce illegal vehicles doing business on our roads. LTA Board Chair Vijay Maharaj says this illegal act has been an issue for most legal taxi drivers. Senia Nimboila reports.
The increasing pirate taxis offering services in our towns and cities is a concern for the Land Transport Authority and taxi drivers.
The reason why there are so many illegal vehicles on the road applying for passengers is because there's a demand. I'm not sure that's necessarily so, but maybe they provide much better vehicles. They're there 24 hours maybe. That could be the reason. And we're going to identify those areas.
During business hours, they come illegally, pick up passengers at cheaper price and go away. So it's ruining business really badly for taxi drivers.
Because there's a lot of demand. They exist because of demand. Particularly in some cities and towns, at night taxi drivers don't operate. So who do we turn to as members of public? They want to travel. In that way, my humble opinion is, it's how we look at it.
Maharaj says as logistics on the taxi permit application forms are ongoing, they're also working on identifying areas where illegal operation of pirate taxis are high.
The areas where there's a lot of demands, a lot of illegal vehicles, and when we're actually considering the application, we will have that in mind.
The Land Transport Authority is working to get all taxi permit applications from all divisions within the next 5 months. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
Still to come, last-minute back-to-school shopping spree. And additional water tanks to cater for demands during disruptions. Stay with us.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo tali taka na varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo sekolah untuk tali taka na Radio Fiji 1 kena Domoy Viti.
Kaya ako sila tali, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu tali taki yang gitu kena sebalik pun nagudurong, varorong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
People will now be able to lodge their complaints and grievances against the education system via a hotline. This was revealed by Education Minister Ayaz Sayed Qayyum, who says this will enable them to deal with complaints received from teachers, parents and students in an effective and practical manner. Kalivadala reports.
Registering your complaints, grievances and comments relating to the education system will now be easy.
To set up a hotline in the next few days, and we'll be making those announcements so people can channel those complaints through that, and it gives us a better, mechanism through sieving through these complaints.
Meanwhile, Syed Qayyum says the Education Ministry has already started distributing the free Weet-Bix and milk for Year 1 students to schools. He urged school committees and management to be present at the respective schools to receive these supplies to avoid any complaints.
Distribution of Weet-Bix and milk, we've already started doing that. The outer islands have all received these. We've had 3 islands in the Olomai VT group that should be getting it this weekend.
The 2018 academic year starts on Monday and the ministry is looking forward to a successful year. Kalivadala, FBC News.
Meanwhile, many parents and students flocked to town this morning for last-minute shopping spree with only 1 day remaining for the new school year. FBC News reporter Catherine Krishna was in the city and says the shoppers took advantage of the good weather to round up their preparations for school.
Parents and guardians often try their best to ensure their children begin their new academic year fully prepared and with all the necessities.
That's my last chance for shopping today. My 3 kids. I'm enjoying my shopping.
Children who had accompanied their parents say they are ready for school.
I enjoy my holiday. I'm ready to go to school. My school, I'm ready to attend to my school.
This is my first time to go to school in Fiji, and I'm really excited about that.
My name is Tukana. I'm ready to go to school. I'm class 1.
Meanwhile, there was also a last-minute rush by parents and students to get their e-ticketing cards.
E-ticketing for the children to go back to school on Monday. We thank the government for their help.
I came today to town to apply for the e-ticketing for my children, only one daughter, for go back to school on Monday.
For some children, it will be the first step to begin their formal education, while others will continue to the next level, striving to excel in their studies for a brighter future. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
The Water Authority will be putting in additional tanks at boarding schools in Nandi and Lautoka, who will be affected as a result of planned water disruption next month. Major maintenance will be carried out at the Nanganda water treatment plant, and there will be complete water shutdown in Nandi, while a few areas in Lautoka will be affected. A team from the Water Authority visited the site in Nandi this morning. WEF Board Director Kamal Gandra says residents in Nandi and parts of Lautoka are being given ample time to store sufficient water to be used during this period.
We have already talked to those schools. Most of those schools in Lautoka and Nindi area have water tanks, so they have already started to liaise with Water Authority to fill in their water tanks. And Water Authority carting is going around to go and fill all these water tanks that are empty. But some of the schools that have boarding facilities will be putting additional water tanks in those facilities.
A reminder to all that daylight saving will end tomorrow when clocks go backward an hour from 3 a.m. to 2 a.m. The public is advised to change their clocks backward by 1 hour on this day. Daylight saving will end at 3 a.m. tomorrow, 14 January 2018. Ahead in sports, Lambasa beats Lautoka to win CVC title. And Dakuanga to join rugby club Sasans. Stay with us.
Moala rarara ranalika, o tikongona taon na Singatoka, ando talitaka na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na seri.
Ya dorachu buli kurnambili, iborani batukara hambara binaranga, do talitakina na wakaronga ng Bull FM, number 2 na seri. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 na seri.
The Suva rugby team defeated Nandranga 12 points to 10 in a hard-fought semi-final of the FRU Provincial Rugby Tens this afternoon at Suva's Bidesi Park. Suva led 12-0 at half-time, with scores coming from Asasela Seka and Inia Tawalo. Naranga regrouped in the second half, scoring 2 tries, but it was not good enough to match up the strong capital side. Here are the scores. Meanwhile, the undefeated Naitasiri rugby side beat Namosi 19 points to 7 in the second semis. Emosi Vunivosa scored the Highlanders' first try, and Mosese Dudivangi scored their second try to put them into a 21-0 lead at halftime. Here are the highlights. Olympic gold medalist and former Fiji Sevens player Masivesi Dakuwanga is expected to join Sasayan's rugby club. This has been confirmed exclusively to FPC Sports by his manager during the Nandi Aviators Rugby League AGM last night. Dakuwanga, who had signed with Canberra Raiders last year, is expected to join Sasayan's this year. The 23-year-old is in Lautoka and will be travelling to the club in a few weeks' time. The Lambasa football team is the winner for the Pillay Garments champion versus champion after defeating Lautoka 1-0. The 9-man Bamasinga Lions outclassed their opponents at Churchill Park to come out victorious. Vashnil Prasad reports.
It was a clash of two heavyweights in the return leg of the champion versus champion series last night. A star-studded Lautoka side looked smart against a young Lambasa team. The Blues dominated the game but were held 0-0 at the half-time mark. Second spell got scrappy for Lambasa as Ilusoni Longaivau was shown red card. That didn't dampen the spirit of Babasinga Lions as Antonio Tuivuna scored the goal in the 63rd minute.
Antonio Tuivuna in the 15th minute of play. It was seesawing from one end to the other end.
Well, I knew that I have faith in my boys actually, because coming all the way from Lambasa, the first round that we played over there, we had that advantage. But I knew Lautoka will be coming up very hard, especially with their experienced players and their home team advantage. But I salute my boys for coming up to this and getting the glory to the north after so many years.
As I said, they haven't played us.
Lambasa were down to 9 players after Ashnil Raju was given the marching orders.
It'll be in the books again, and it'll be a red card, as I said.
9 men to play against the champions of Fiji. It's one of the great achievements for the boys, because most of the boys are young boys.
Lautoka gave their all, but Lambasa's defense stood tall.
Contain a team, you need to defend. They defended well, deep defending, and I think they managed to keep us at the bay.
Lambasa received the silverware together with $5,000 cash. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Lautoka and Ba football teams will now be able to prepare well for the OFC after receiving financial assistance yesterday. Both teams received $50,000 each after they finished in top 2 of the Vodafone Premier League season last year. This assistance will allow them to prepare for the much-awaited OFC Championship that's coming up next month.
The new sponsorship agreement with Vodafone had decided to allocate to the 2 teams that qualifies for the Oceania League, and that's the reason Vodafone had decided to give $75,000 for it, but FIGFA from their own coffers puts in another $25,000 to top it up to $100,000, so that each team gets $50,000 each. And this is something that we'd love to continue.
Team Fiji chef de mission Patrick Bauer is calling on sporting federations to arrange for the players' levies for the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Gold Coast, Australia. Bauer says they do not want the levy issue to be a stumbling block for the athletes as they prepare for the Games. He says FASINOC and federations have their part to play and they ensure the funds are in order.
We're asking the national federations to get on board I mean, it's the way that they budget their allocations and make sure that they've sorted this out rather than getting the burden to be on the athletes.
The Fiji under-15 baseball team has been drawn in a tough pool at the 2018 Oceania Championship in Auckland, New Zealand next week. The youngsters will face host New Zealand as well as Australia and New Caledonia. Melita Vanga reports.
Going into the championship for the first time, the Fijian side will be severely tested against New Zealand and Australia.
Australia and New Zealand are totally in a different level in terms of the standard of baseball here in the region. But with us, this is a long-term development and a first step in terms of how we can compete against Australia and New Zealand.
Fiji is gunning for a win when they meet Pacific Island rival New Caledonia in the first pool match.
I'm hoping for a win for the first game because New Caledonia is about the same level in terms of development with Fiji.
Meanwhile, 14-year-old Ulayasi Male, who went to Japan for baseball training, is ready to put what he learned into action in New Zealand.
I have learned a lot from Japan and I'm excited to be part of the national team and I'm looking forward to play for my country.
The Oceania Championship will be held from the 18th to the 21st of this month. The winner will then represent the Oceania region to the Baseball World Cup in Panama in July. The national under-15 side will depart for Auckland next Monday. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
In a surprise decision announced yesterday, Australian women's sevens coach Tim Walsh will finish his tenure after April's Commonwealth Games. All organisers of the Australian Open in Melbourne have come under fire for using Maria Sharapova to promote the event and conducting the women's draw for the 2018 tournament. This is after Sharapova served a 15-month doping ban for positive test after she took the controversial medication during the 2016 Australian Open. A trough of low pressure remains slow-moving over the northern parts of Fiji. Associated cloud and rain affect the northern and eastern parts of the group. Looking in the west, some sun, then turning cloudy with heavy showers in the afternoon. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, mostly humid and cloudy with a couple of showers. All the way up north, cloudy, occasional morning rain and a thunderstorm, followed by heavy showers in the afternoon. Now at sea, northeast to southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas, moderate southeast swells. For the tides, low tide tonight will be at 11:10 with high tide tomorrow morning at 5:25. Sunrise will be at 5:42. Now for tomorrow, occasional rain and few thunderstorms over Vanuatu, Taveuni and the nearby smaller islands is expected. It is also expected in Lau and Lomaiviti group, the eastern parts and the interior of the other larger islands. Looking further on to Monday, occasional showers, heavy at times and a few thunderstorms. Recapping the main stories, striking ATS workers and supporters march in Nandi. Fuel prices to increase from Monday. An Olympic gold medalist Masivesi Ndakuwanga to join Saracens Rugby Club. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we're asking, should officers who abuse police vehicles be charged? Visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. Until next time, good night.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची FM सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची FM is number one. It's so hot.
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची FM सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची FM is hot.
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची FM सुनते हैं। मिर्ची FM is hot. I love मिर्ची FM.
हमें स्पिन टोटोता हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
Mirchi FM, it's hot.